We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Hello, and welcome to Icon's Earthbound here on the Nerd Eternal Network. I'll be your GM for the day, Jason, and with me as usual will be Curtis playing Landshark.
Hola.
Taylor playing Unison.
Howdy, howdy.
Mike playing Independence Array.
Hello.
And Zach playing Recluse.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We're going to cut the review short because technical issues, we're getting started late. I'm sure everybody remembers what we were doing a month ago. We've missed like 2 sessions.
We were in a big fight.
Yep, launching an assault on the Pharaoh's capital city. A mystical group was trying to track down the source of her power that she used to cast a ritual which altered people's perception of history and some architecture. Another team was activating... No, we're not going to the store for a while, love. We launched it as... another team was acting as chaos agents, disrupting infrastructure, calling attention away from points of interest for the Pharaoh's prime security teams. Recluse got jumped by the Huntsman Savanur?
Sarah Garrix.
Sarah Garrix. I kept wanting to call him Saravok, but that is very much not him. That was a fun fight. I think we're about to wrap up that. And also, we found out that Muscle... No, Miss Ma'am. That Miss Muscle, or that Muscle is aware of the alterations and has had his primary weakness to telepaths either dampened or removed.
Oh, I missed that.
Okay.
I don't recall
I don't remember there being any indication that he was aware of anything. You did notice he was still using his name Muscle, where a bunch of the other characters, like Gothic is now Lightbringer, and several of them had name changes. Sometimes just a translation of a reimagining of their original name. Sometimes something completely different. Or Muscle still just introduces himself as Muscle. And I believe it was...
That is a fair...
I had the same impression, too, that Muscle knew Earth as it actually was.
Oh, and y'all may have gotten that by me pointing out that he was using his name.
Could be.
But I believe, was it Geist that tried to mental blast him?
That's right. And it got reflected back.
Right. And that was where we ended.
Landshark and Platypus were doing pretty good against... what's he calling himself? Monolith? Is that what he's calling himself?
I believe Monolith is the current name. Skyscraper is the one y'all were more familiar with.
Yeah, Skyscraper, but he's going by Monolith.
I remember Obelisk.
Oh, no, Mike is
that's
right.
what
It was Obelisk. Because that's more what you call the Egyptian monuments. You're right.
Right. My bad.
This is why it's bad for us to miss sessions, because we're all old men. And Windows thinks now's a good time to remind me about the end of support. Go away.
No.
They're going to be so disappointed when I go to Linux Mint after Windows 10.
Yeah, you do not want to downgrade to 11. Anyway.
Alright, let's see. Did I bring? No, I have not opened up Skyscraper and Monolith yet. Alright, or Library. So, alright, let's jump back into the action.
We're in the main temple, right? Is that right?
Well, one group of you is.
Yeah, I know some of us are still outside doing our I don't know what you want to call them. Our tussles.
There are about 6 different activities going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. That's why our fights were still going on, because there was so much happening that it was taking a while to get there.
So I think I still have the turn order up.
You do.
Oh, wait, no, I wasn't using... That was an old turn order. I had... Let's see... Yes, I believe I actually had a turn order written down on my notes. Here we are. Let's see here. Or maybe that was an old. Or no, that may have actually been their health I had listed there. Hang on a second. Because I'm not seeing. I didn't have all the villains. Make sure I didn't have a notepad thing. Okay. Alright, so we're just going to go by area that we are in. Oh. And I shrank that window, so that went away. So hopefully our cameras are back now. Very good. Alright. You can tell I'm terribly well organized today. Alright, let's jump over to Land Shark and the Platypus.
All right.
If I remember right, y'all had sunk skyscraper.
Oh yeah.
Or y'all hadn't shrunk him. You had trapped him in the earth and he had shrunk himself down and rolled out of the hole.
Was he still in the hole or had he gotten out?
I think he had gotten out. Because, you know, he shrank down to normal size and pulled himself up. But that was his action.
Okay. I know I had intended while he was shrunk to just encase him in earth. But if he's out, then he's out.
You know, but it will take him an action to reactivate his growth.
Yeah.
So you and the platypus have 1 round on him while he's just human-sized.
He's got a refractory period.
Yeah, it's not much of one, but it does require an actual action to activate his power. Which is why most of the time when y'all run into him, he's already at full size when y'all show up.
Well, I am a bad player because I had to use a point of determination to encase him, and I did not record that.
Oh, well, just check it off now. It'll be fine.
I'll check it off. I did.
Yeah.
As long as you catch it and tell on yourself, you're still an okay player. A bad note taker.
It's like I know I had to use determination to do that because that's not a power I bought. I am just gonna, assuming he's within punching distance, which he must be. I'm just gonna punch him.
Oh yeah, you can run up and take a swing at him. As he desperately tries to get out of the way.
Pow.
All right, so he's got a prowess. Oh, he doesn't have any combat skills. He just goes with his raw prowess. Okay. So, ooh, you got an 11. He will have to roll max to match that. Ooh, a 10. He's just a little bit shy. So he almost rolls out of the way, but you still manage to clip him for full damage. How much damage do you do?
Take that, obelisk. I do 8.
All right, you do 8.
8 points of shark damage.
He is still conscious. You rang his bell, something fierce, but with his growth turned off, he has still got 12 stamina. He had taken some damage.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he's tough. There's no
Yeah,
doubt
he
about
is.
that.
As far as taking a physical beating, yeah, he's rough.
We've never noticed before, but he is strong.
Yeah, we never noticed that.
Well, a lot of times, what'll take him out it'll be an attack that only manages to do a point or two past his protection. But you'll get a massive success, and he'll flub a stun roll or something and get knocked out that way. You know, or you trash his entire team and he runs away because he is not afraid to retreat. He will very bravely retreat. But you rang his bell
Hey,
good.
listen.
So he stumbles back, and the platypus moves forward.
Get him, Platy.
Are you two friends now? What's going on?
As far as the platypus is concerned, well, as far as the platypus is concerned, I don't really know this guy. He seems a nice enough bloke.
I think
All right.
battle bonding.
Yeah. Until we find out that he's been dating Jay while Landshark was in space.
What? Dun, dun, dun.
All right, so coordination to hit obelisk. Oh, there should be a plus. He's got martial arts, so there should be a plus on that. So that should actually be a 10. And a prowess. So he runs up, does his little spin kick, catches Skyscraper across the face, and Skyscraper goes down. He's just laying there moaning a little bit and holding the side of his face, which is starting to swell up from the platypus's venomous kick.
Let's hope he stays down.
Oh yeah, he's out. He's out. And then at that point, the platypus is like, "Where to next, Sharky?"
Oh, I know where I want to go.
Where's Landshark want to go?
I want to go to the temple. I want to.
I believe y'all had been given the notice that they're moving in. So it's all right. So Landshark and Platypus start heading across town to the temple. Was there a unison with the two of them?
I think so. Yes, I have enough bodies to put one there.
Yeah, I was thinking you would spread yourself out pretty thin.
Just about
He
as
did
thin as
spread
possible.
himself out. I just don't specifically remember.
I think the only fight I have more than one body in is the Sarah Garrick's fight.
All right, so let's jump over to the Sarah Garrick's fight. Now, if I recall correctly,
Remaining enemies are whatever the stunning, the lizard, and Sarah
Ahern the
Garrick.
Stunning, Vahir, I believe, which was the stretchy guy. I believe Recluse had knocked him out.
Okay.
Might have
Knocked
been
out, prone, and like at one hit point left.
Who was?
Because the stretchy lizard guy, because he grabbed me and then I just pile drove us both off a building, landing on top of him.
Yeah. And you were saying you thought he had one left? Or you thought he was knocked out?
Yeah.
You broke up there. What was that?
I believe that you said he was still had some health left.
Okay. He probably had one then. My
The
assembler
ice
should have
guy has
remembered
been
that, didn't
beaten.
he? Yeah, the ice
and
guy I
I'm
knew
on
had been
his
beaten.
Bike.
Givra.
And I
That was
believe-
you and Aurora had taken care of him.
Yeah, and I believe Rocket is nearby the fight because Ray flew towards us.
You mean the comet?
Sorry, yeah, the comet.
Yeah, because Ray and the comet had been having a dog fight.
Yeah, and I believe Ray drew it towards us. Because I believe I remember trying to pop a few shots off at him.
And
Was that still going on, or did Ray finish him off?
I think Ray had managed to knock the comet out.
I thought he did.
he's at least, I thought too, but he's definitely at least dazzled for the rest of the fight. Let's check.
I don't think I don't think Ray had figured out his weakness, but I thought he had taken him out.
Yeah, because the comics character sheet has got his current stamina at 0.
That sounds great. I'll take it.
And I think maybe he had puzzled out the whole movement thing.
Yeah, I have that he's very fast but not very maneuverable. And then I got a fancy flying quality on him because I was just trying to outmaneuver him.
Okay. But all right, so jumping over there, I believe the huntsman goes before Recluse. I think Recluse had a 8, and the huntsman had an 11. So the huntsman is going to take a swing at you, or not swing, a shot. He definitely wants to shoot, not involve fisticuffs.
Mm-hmm.
And refresh my memory, his dogs were not. We hadn't seen his dogs, had we?
No.
That's right.
Yeah,
yet.
I haven't seen him yet.
Okay. I wasn't thinking they were involved in this fight. All right, so let's see. He has got the weapon bow skill, his coordination.
Wait, just to double check. It's his turn and not mine, correct?
Oh, I'm sorry. He goes on 11. You would go on a 12. You're right. You would go
Like
first.
you mentioned me and where I was, and then went to the next guy, and I was like, wait a minute.
A lot of people
I
involved,
didn't
man.
do anything.
Anytime I forget that you're out of combat, just remind me.
Well, I can't see the turn order. I can just see the hero turn order. So I didn't know if Sarah Garrix was like.
Yeah, because I don't have everybody. I don't have tokens for everybody and everybody listed on the roll 20. So yeah.
Yeah, which is fine. It's a big fight. But in that fight, all that's left is Dashing, who's I think being fought by Omniglot, correct?
Him and
No, Omniglot.
Omniglot is on the scene in that fight. Yeah, I don't think she had managed to stun him, though.
Reckless, you took him out.
The stunning?
Reckless dodges and takes out Ahern. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I do have his determination set at 0. Okay, so he's gone.
Okay, this fight's all but done then. Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay. I guess we've got here with 1 stamina left. I should probably mark that in his stamina, not his determination. And Sarah Girax, I don't think anybody had damaged yet. I don't think anybody's engaged him directly yet.
All right, well,
That sounds right.
I've got either 2 or 3 bodies in this place. I want to say 3.
All right.
No, hold on. I had 3 bodies in the air. 1 left to go check on Hindsight and the multidimensional man. So there should only be 2 in this fight, I think. Anyway, mental blast at Stretcher is going to be the first move.
All right, so over here.
On an 11.
That is, he rolls his willpower versus that. So he got an 8.
Cool. 2 points.
All right, he goes down. He only had the 1 left.
And then I will look at Sarah Garrix, be like, can y'all just go home now? Or do I have to take you out too?
He just smiles and you see him pull his bow back.
I'll try to mental blast him as well.
Okay.
Off of my bite. That's mine now.
All right, you hit him.
Wow, is that a massive?
Oh, it is. 'Cause y'all both roll poop, but
All right then. For the quote unquote slam, it'll be a 6.
also a 6, so he's not slammed.
And for the stun, it will be a 6.
Also a 6, he is not stunned.
Wild. Oh well,
It's a
he
lot
took
of
2 points.
real impressive dice rolling there.
Yeah.
It's all 1s and 2s. But he does take a little damage.
Okay, now what other super important fight do we transfer over to?
Well, first we'll let Recluse do something if he wants to.
What? Oh, is Recluse on my initiative counter?
I go on an 8.
Oh, you're right. Independence Ray would go next. Because he is
What?
in that area.
Okay.
Oh, we're just wrapping this fight up as an individual section and
Yeah. I was just jumping over to the.
Okay.
I'm jumping over the individual sections right now.
Okay.
Just for
I'm
simplicity.
fine with that.
Okay. So I have just taken out the comment. I have to admit,
I
I
think
don't
so.
have a note.
Well,
I don't have a note that specifically says that, but
have you noted?
Well, you said
and you've noted when other people have been knocked out, though.
yes.
Okay, then we
I've
will
been
assume the
making a
comment
point
is still
to,
going. Maybe I'm
still
thinking about.
does
Maybe
it,
I was thinking
and-
about the dazzle that you got on him that was going to be for the whole combat.
Yeah, and I do have the fancy flying quality with 2 free tags because I was doing the thing where I'd yell and then shift to a different location and hopefully take advantage of his.
Yeah, I've got
being
something. Yeah, I've
dazzled
got fancy
I
flying
would
2
love
written
to
down.
help you, Mike, but I cannot.
Yeah, because comments one of Curtis's, so Curtis knows his every weakness.
Right.
He's
And I'm trying to remember if he.
The comment goes
He's
on a 12, so
irresistible
the comment
to-
would go before Mike.
Oh no.
But there's also a man on a motorcycle flying around now, so who will the comment go after?
Please let Aurora interpose.
You know, Aurora is. We had Aurora set up as an asset that you can call in.
Well, I mean, she's going to be right next to the motorcycle unison because that's actually unit.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I'm just gonna give an even odd roll to see who he goes after. I mean, he also sees a little girl flying around, but even mind controlled to be loyal to her, hitting a child is not going to be the comet's first choice. He's a good boy.
But he's dazzled, so he wouldn't even know that she's a girl.
Remember, well, that's fair. He probably still recognizes that it's a child, though. Dazzled is not completely blind. It's just, your eyesight somewhat messed up.
Oh, okay, right.
He can at least tell that she's smaller than an adult.
Yeah.
It's like either a child or an Oompa Loompa, something. I don't know.
Yeah, and Aurora strikes me as the kind of super who would like to banter while fighting. So there'd be a vocal recognition.
I would imagine
Though she
so.
does tend to glow sometimes when she flies, like Ray does. So, so even was going to be Ray, and odd was going to be unison, and I rolled a 1. So the noise from the flying motorcycle, even though it's not loud like an actual motorcycle, but it still makes noise.
Is Ally's motorcycle?
And you did
That's
a
right,
mental
'cause you stole
blast,
it
so there's
from
no
someone.
visual. That's a good point. I guess he would go after Ray.
Man, boy howdy, do I love the good old-fashioned unit metagame.
But that is fair. That the sound of that vehicle would sound like something his erstwhile allies are using. And it's not like Sarah Girak screamed when you hit him with the mental blast, so he wouldn't know you were doing any kind of attack. All right, Ray. He's going to try to ram you since, your teammate bravely talked him into it.
So this is
Hey, To be fair, on my turn,
Victory's
I was told he was
bloody.
knocked out. I would have shot him.
All right.
Oh, poop. Looks like he got me.
All right.
What did I want?
All right, but you had your fancy flying.
I did.
I'll let you use that since we were doing so much jaw flapping as we made the roll.
Yeah, we might as well put that to good use.
Yeah, I'll let you use that in case we distracted you, or you forgot to call it. So that would give you a +2. So that gets you up to an 11. So he still clips you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's doing half damage, so that is 4 points of damage.
Which is still plenty. Oof.
Did it still knock you out, or are you all right?
No, I could take one more hit like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're fine then.
Get him, Ray.
All right, so it's got one free tapping of fancy flying left.
Just don't kill him.
Oh. Un momento. Let me just take a quick glance at the actual dazzle power. Dazzle, 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 dazzle. All right, so the dazzled should have had fancy flying would have given you a +2, which would have gotten you a tie, but his roll should have had a -2 on it for his being dazzled. So it would have been a tie initially, which means with you burning the points, you would have gotten completely out of the way, or with you burning the fancy flying.
Ah.
So go ahead and give your health
Great.
back.
Great.
I gotta remember next time we end in a mid fight, I gotta make lots of notes. I'm terrible about writing stuff down. And if we
And I
just
had,
played the 2 weeks
smacked
later,
out
I think
hard
I'd
for
remember
some
it. It's that month and a half that I think threw me. All right, but now it's Ray's turn.
Okay. I was just thinking back if trying to remember if Ray had figured out the weakness, and I honestly don't think he had.
I know we had may have
I
dropped a hint or two, but yeah, I don't remember for sure if you had figured it out.
Yeah,
Where we
I
figured it out
out of care.
during the attempted ambush, because I shot him multiple times with my telekinetic blast and went, well, that's worthless. Can mental damage get through this? And then took him out while he was flying with mental damage.
Yeah, I think maybe you had done that.
Yeah, because out of character, if I recall correctly, the player, Comet's loses his invulnerability when he's contacting the Earth. Is that right?
Sort of.
Or did I just make that up?
You're very close to what it is.
Okay.
I just assumed he had big shield while moving.
Yeah, like a cannonball thing.
Poor Curtis having to sit there and just hold his tongue in. I applaud your self-control, Curtis. But anyway, it is your turn, Ray.
Yes. So, but I know that my blasts haven't been affecting him at all. I have observed at least that much.
Yes, yes.
So in that case, I might just try. Oh boy, I might. I'm trying to think of. Hopefully, this isn't like metagaming, but I might try just trying to. And now for slams, you have to do at least 0 damage in order to
Right.
Potentially slam.
Yeah, 0
So
damage is fine as
if
long as
there
there's
is-
no minuses.
Yeah, so the resistance if the resistance absorbs all the damage, and there's no chance of slamming. But
No.
I at
If
least
you do
match
0 points of damage, if he's got, we won't use him as an example. We'll use Sirigurex. Sirigurex has got basically a 3 damage reduction. That's just baseline for his species. So if a human with a strength 3 ran up and punched him, it wouldn't do any damage. But if he got a massive success, he might still knock him down. He might still stun him. Because the damage and the protections are equal.
But if someone ran
So
up
I'm
and did
gonna-
2 damage,
Yeah, then it wouldn't matter.
Let's see. So
Mm-hmm.
I think what I'll do is I'm gonna try to like blast him into the ground, at least to cut down his maneuverability. I mean, if nothing else. So I think I would like to spend a determination point.
Okay.
Activate. Well, since it's a dogfight, can I activate Air Force Veteran?
You may. And you've still got
To-
fancy flying, which we could factor into this. If you're doing maneuvering.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Because you're not
Yeah,
you're not so
do
much
that.
trying to damage him as you're trying to just push him into the ground.
That's right.
So I'd say you're still
Uh,
using your power, but it's more of a maneuver than it is just an actual attack.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, that's definitely tagged that too. So I'm gonna type that in. So it's gonna be now this I'm yeah. So this is still a light control attack because I'm trying to blast him into the ground. So roll. Whoops. Let me make sure. I'm good. Okay. Roll 1d6 plus 5 for coordination. Plus do I get to add my aerial combat specialty?
That's usually defensive, but I'm going to let you this time because
Okay.
this is more about maneuvering than it is, raw damage or anything.
Oh, right, that's a maneuver. So there's that, then the +2 for the one activation, and then the +2 for the other activation. Oh, whoops, I forgot the slash. That's 5, 6, 7, 8.
that's going to be
Plus
a big
11, holy shit. Yeah. Well, I'm hoping for a massive success. So even if I don't do any damage, I at least get a chance of stunning or
Yeah.
slamming or whatever. Okay, 13. I don't know if I'm gonna get +5, but we'll find out.
Well, one thing you got to remember is this guy is not very maneuverable in the air.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I just said that like a few minutes ago. Oh, there's the massive success.
So there's a massive success.
He flies faster than he has skill to control.
hmm
Not a lot of flying indoors for him.
Now, is the damage enough to matter?
The damage is not enough to matter.
Didn't think so.
Oh, doesn't even get to 0?
But you do what, 8 points of damage?
Normally, yes.
So even bumped up to 9, that's not going to get it. This guy is basically truly invulnerable when he's. But I was thinking of it more as you doing a maneuver, like you're putting a condition on him, where you're basically tricking him. You're getting him close enough to the ground, and then kind of, I'm picturing you like barrel rolling above him, and just blast him to give that extra little push so he plows into the dirt or into the street.
Yeah, I'm basically trying to use the architecture against him because I can't clearly just blasting him straight isn't gonna do it.
So yeah, you can describe it however you want. But yeah, fancy fly. Maybe he chips buildings before you end up with him plowing into the street and leaving a decent sized little rut.
Crashing into the architecture would be exactly what I had in mind for the character design all along.
Yeah.
Because my characters tend to be destructive, I've noticed.
It's the inner Curtis wanting to lash out at the environment around him.
It is. So
he ends big trench plowed in the ground. But But as you glance over, he's crawling. He's starting to pick himself up. He doesn't appear to be injured, though it did bring him to a stand. He did come to a stop. So he's effectively prone. He'll have to spend his movement next round. Getting, standing up, getting out of the ditch. All right, was there anybody else in this combat?
I'm pretty sure it's just been the two of us.
Well, you're over there with you're over in the area of the Sirigirax recluse fight too.
Oh, okay.
It's like y'all were fighting in the air above them, kind of thing. So let's see. Unison had sent somebody over to the multidimensional man, where you had the multidimensional man. Was Foresight with him, or was Foresight with the infiltration group?
I think Foresight was team defense.
Yeah, I don't quite remember where Foresight was. I know where
I
Hindsight
think,
is.
Yeah, Hindsight's got his own squad, so he's definitely Team Chaos. But I'm pretty sure Foresight was team defense because we wanted that recognition for an advance warning in case they got found out.
Okay. But I was thinking the multidimensional man was with somebody.
Yeah, he's with his nemesis.
Okay.
This is why I hate this situation and had to send a body over there.
All right, so your body gets over there, and I think I described last time that they were fighting some of the. You didn't know any of the individuals on an individual basis, but you're based on their appearance and their power sets. It's probably some of the ensign's family. So flying bricks of a variety of power levels.
Yeah.
But one of them was emptying his stomach, while one of Hindsight's people was basically staring at him. Some kind of vertigo inner ear thing, probably. They weren't necessarily physically damaging these guys, but they seem to have them in control pretty good.
Is anyone on my side, quote unquote, hurt?
The multidimensional man looks like he's been in a fight, but he's not like bad hurt or anything.
I'll pop him a couple of points of healing.
Okay.
And that's really what that Unison's job is going to be. Is just keep everyone
just
else
watching his dad's back. Makes sense. You did have El Flamenco over there dancing and generating demons to fight.
Someday that man will run out.
Kind of sad that we don't get an El Flamenco Santa Luna team up.
Well, he is magic. Flamenco is magically based, though. So he might be somebody that would pop up in Santa Luna's Rogues Gallery. Something to think about in the future.
Come up with a campaign art for that. That would facilitate that.
Some big supernatural something. So I guess it's finally time to jump back to our indoors.
Oh, cool. I don't have to deal with the Mexican standoff?
No, they seem to be getting along fine at the moment. But, there's... You don't ignore the 3 Superman knockoffs coming at you to pick a fight with your allies.
No, I meant the Mexican standoff of Majestic 7?
Oh!
Technicky and Steel.
Oh, yes, you're right. I had forgotten about that one. So you had arrived... Unison had arrived there. At least 2 of the Majestics were down. I think one of them was still upright. And both him and Steel were claiming that the other one had turned traitor on him. And Technicky was, of course, there behind Steel.
So I'd like to take this moment to look at all 3 of them and go, do none of your 3 suits record what happens?
Steel basically goes, I have a recorder in my suit, but I don't usually turn it on. Given the past you told me about, I probably didn't want recorded activities or recordings of my activities. Majestic tells you, I'm pretty sure my suit does, but the professor would be the only one that could access it, and he's under the effect of the spell.
Nikki, please tell me you are the tiebreaker in this nonsense.
Yeah, I've got a recorder, but I don't have a screen that I can share the video to. I mean, if you put a screen on the outside of armor, it's not going to last very long, you know.
No, I understand. Can you play the audio?
Through my headset, sure. I don't have a speaker on the outside of my armor either.
Do you have Bluetooth on any of your suits?
That would be a security concern. Give me a willpower roll, Unison. And do you have any specialties for, like, reading people?
Investigation would be the closest.
Go ahead and include that. Let me look up Technicky right quick.
And you said willpower?
Yes, willpower.
Not awareness?
This would be like trying to get a read on a person, so I'm imagining it being more of a social thing.
It's only 1 point different, so... 14.
Oh.
I hate dealing with all of these people so much.
Okay, so you got a 14, she got a 7, so you beat her by 7. That's a massive success. She's nervous, a little bit confused, and she is definitely trying to, like, stall, put you off, does not want to share with you. Her helmet keeps turning ever so slightly, you know, almost like she's giving Steel like a nervous glance, but, you know, the helmet's obscuring her actual face. It's just the slight tilt of her helmet, you know. And you're pretty sure she has not actually lied to you until the Bluetooth comment. You know, she probably doesn't have a screen on the outside of her suit. She probably doesn't have speakers on the outside of her suit. But the Bluetooth thing, yeah, you don't quite trust what she just said there. So, what are you doing, Houston?
All right. Everything's in a coin flip right now. What is the price tag for all three of you to just leave?
The Majestic looks at you. What? Huh?
If you leave and they both leave, it's a net positive for both sides technically. However, if one of us gets backstabbed, then the other side gains an advantage. I'm willing to let this be an infinite standoff of neutral actions so that everything else doesn't get lopsided.
The Majestic goes, weird, but I follow your logic. I'll take my buddies and go. You just make sure he doesn't blast me while I'm flying off.
Steel, if you're working for me, then an enemy is leaving the field. Correct?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't like somebody that backstabbed us just getting away with it, but it is getting them off the battlefield presently.
Cool. Majestic, leave. Do not turn your back to either of them.
He goes over, he takes each of the other Majestics by an arm, kind of throws them one over each shoulder. His jet boots kick in. And he, like, flies backwards, so he's keeping his face, you know, he's keeping an eye on Steel until he's, you know, a decent altitude before he turns and, you know, starts heading towards the outer edge, you know, towards the outer edge of the city that the side they came in on.
And now
over
I'm
your
just doing-
comm, you get a communication from it over your comm link. I'd be careful not to turn my back on either one of those.
Yeah, they're supervillains. Like, I'm in a room. I'm just looking at the two of them now. Like, yeah, okay. Are you two now going to obliterate this copy of me and move on with your day?
You're wanting us to leave town too, correct? Are you sure? I mean, you've got them out of the way. We could help.
You could help, or you now doubt has been tossed in by someone who was also completely willing to leave. Once again, I'm completely willing to deal with a neutral situation rather than introduce the possibility of backstabbing.
I feel like this is letting them get one over on us. But yeah, I mean, we'll leave. We're not gonna fight you.
Also, if this all works out, I will, one, pitch in for you when the world's back in order for you to be released from prison slightly faster. And also, you'll need to look into whoever this professor is. There's a high chance those people are supervillains at this point.
Will do. I will keep that in mind, assuming I remember everything when the stuff reverts back.
Yeah, assuming memory happens.
He's like, okay, Nikki, let's go.
Are you also fine with this
She's like,
situation?
I'm just following. I work for him, so.
All right, fair enough.
And they both turn around and they fly off the direction they came in. Blessed are the peacemakers.
I'm sure one of them's going to come back, but you know what? Either it was a backstab that got beat, and now I'm free to go help somewhere else, or it was a backstab that was working and has been stalled out, which also means I get to go somewhere else, and I'll begin making sure they're at a decent range to not hit me, and then move on to get back to the.
Once they take off, they don't glance back.
Yeah, I'm flying for the Muscle fight, I guess.
All right, and jumping to the Muscle fight. So Muscle had just stepped in.
Protect me.
Muscle had just stepped in. He had introduced himself. Geist had tried to blast him, screamed, and fell over, presumably having his own blast reflected back at him. You had heard other people coming from around the corners. Now we have a unison copy there. We have the Crucible. The Crucible's mage assistant guy. Wolf Witch, Mott. I forget how many J303s.
I don't remember. A
Two,
couple.
I believe. But no, actually, wait. Let me check my notes.
I think it was, I think the original and then 2 inferior copies. Is that right?
Probably.
It might have been.
That's kind of the way I remember it, but my memory
ones
is.
are not
I'm
as
not
fancy.
like Mike. I didn't take notes, so.
Yeah. And I think there were some other J303s running around the town doing stuff, but because I think he had multiple, several copies that actually came.
Man, I forgot that J303 was weird. I'm looking at him again. All right.
So anyway, he's introduced himself as Muscle. He's the Pharaoh's bodyguard. He's really not looking to hurt any of you folks, but he does have to take you into custody. And as he says that, Lightbringer steps around the corner, kind of behind him, and several robots step out from around the corner. They are oddly similar to J303 bots.
Oh, weird.
But they have a different number on them. Their number says 304.
Uh-oh.
It's an upgrade.
Why are there J304s here?
The one of the 304s looks across at 303. It's a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance, bro.
You gotta say it. Say
I
it.
tried
say
to
it.
call you. I promise.
Well, would you have even been aware? Would 303 have even been aware that 304 was online though? Because the Hellfires were the ones that were using him initially.
Yeah.
You
and
gotta
then
say, I'm
when-
not your bro.
when the what was the villain team's name? Is it just the villain team? Did we
Basically.
have a name? Back when the villain team broke them out, I know they made mention to 304 that 303 existed, and
304 made no
Outside.
attempts to contact.
oh,
He's
well,
been all
dang.
secretive and hateful.
Why hateful?
So Muscle asks, are you? I know you won't, but I feel like I should give you the chance. Are you gonna come along peacefully?
How many of us do you have to have come along peacefully?
Oh, that's actually a pretty good question. I assumed all of you, but I guess if I just showed up with the Mystics, she'd be fine with that. I mean, the rest of you are just kind of annoyances.
All right.
As she's saying that, Lightbringer's looking at him. No, she wants everybody. Oh, okay. Jay. And then she looked. J04. Sorry. Bring out the bargaining chips.
Uh-oh.
And two more robots step out. They've each got a person in front of them.
No, jeez.
One of them is Santa. You recognize as Santa Luna.
Take 1.0.
But he's in the pumps. That's the best sign that it's actually his grandmother that's in control. She's got her hands in front of her, little ropes are tied around him. Lightbringer looks at her. We didn't tie your hands up, but I'm the hostage. In all the telenovelas, you always tie up the hostages. It's not very professional otherwise.
She would not be above transforming his clothes if she's been on a 2-month jaunt, especially.
That's fair enough. So a traditional, I'm not sure if it's a particular name for the dress style.
You do a senorita dress or an Egyptian outfit, I guess.
Oh, that's true. It could go either way, given just where she's at. But and the other is, let's see,
Marcus Soto.
Yes.
One of my other siblings I haven't seen.
No, actually, Unison, you would recognize Marcus. You've met Marcus multiple times. Marcus just looks confused as to why he's here.
Marcus.
Oh no.
Hold on, I'm trying to remember who Marcus is.
Independence Ray's
fiance.
significant other.
Oh.
Yeah. And also nurse at the academy.
Oh, I forgot he was working at the academy. Yeah.
I don't think Unison's ever gone to the academy.
No, but y'all got jumped at a amusement park opening one time.
Yeah.
And Marcus was there. In fact, it was Gothic that was threatening Marcus.
Situation.
Yeah. It was the first time, because Gothic was the one that was involved. She was the one that took him captive. Or temporarily.
That experience almost wrecked our relationship. I don't think this is going to bode very well for the wedding.
Well, the fun thing is, you know, Santa Luna would mostly be a bargaining chip against Landshark, who's not there yet, and Marcus would basically be a bargaining chip against Ray, who isn't there yet.
And so
they're
everyone's
trying
there
to
is like,
negotiate
who
with
are you guys?
Unison.
And what was Marcus's last name again, Mike?
Soto, SOTO.
Soda. Okay. So you hear Wolf Witch is like, because she worked at the academy, she's like, Marcus? Like, she doesn't, taking her a minute to glam on why Marcus is here. You hear Crucible, Mr. Soto? It's like,
And
why
I
is
see
the,
Ray heard
it's like, it's bring forth the bargaining chips.
Awareness roll. Timeout. Awareness
Oh,
roll.
go ahead, roll. So it's like, bring out the bargaining
13.
chips, and the one guy's like, the school nurse? Why?
Yeah. When he says, do I register? He says Mr. Soda as like in reference to like a teacher to a student. On a 13.
This grown ass thousands of years old
Hold
man.
on. Time out. This dude should be way older. Why is he calling him Mr. Soto?
Let's.
If he was a doctor and it was Dr. Soto, I'd get it. But that's weird, mate.
Let me see here. Where is? Right now. Ah, there it is. All right, so his willpower is a.
No.
I'll give him a -2 though, because this is catching him by surprise so bad. Yeah, you don't actually go like you'd say a teacher, but it's like he's saying that like somebody younger than Marcus would say
it's
it.
like you didn't mention him like he's a friend. You mentioned him like he has like authority over you, which is weird. When the other adult says Marcus, so it's like
Wolf Witch
clearly
clearly knows Marcus. Like I said, Marcus, or at least passingly know Marcus.
And it's obviously this person knows him, but not as Marcus, but as Mr. Soto, which is odd. Anyway, looking back at these two, I just kind of like you do understand that if I was shutting down a nuclear power plant from overloading, putting a gun to one person's head would not stop me, correct?
Lightbringer's kind of like, well,
one of them is clearly a trap.
And Muscle's like, well, yeah, we kind of expected, the spirit. Oh no, he wouldn't know he has the spirit team. We kind of expected Landshark and Independence Ray to be here, and I mean, she said those were who you were important to, or who they were important to. He looks over at Lightbringer. This really isn't going as smoothly as I was hoping it would.
Unfortunately, you are dealing with the superior plans of 8 men at once, and I'm gonna mental blast Lightbringer.
All right.
On a 12.
Let me find Lightbringer stats. This is her willpower. She got a 9.
That will only allow a slam, correct? It's 3 beat by 3.
Yes, that will only allow the slam. And it does how many points of damage? 1 or 2?
2 points of damage. So slam on a 7.
On a 7. And I believe for the mental blast, I'm rolling their willpower instead of their strength to resist.
Correct.
All right, she is not slammed.
All right, she takes this.
So it hurts, but it's not like she falls down or anything. I'll let you have that as a sneak attack. And now everybody give me initiative rolls. Well, everybody. Oh, let's see. Oh no. Landshark, go ahead and give me initiative rolls. For when you and the platypus show up. And I'm just gonna let when y'all show up, I'm just gonna let the platypus go right after Landshark each time. For simplicity's sake.
Age before beauty. You know how it is.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so Land Shark's got a 10. I'll just go ahead and change that over here to a 10.
You know, sometimes you look at a character and you
That's
forget
as good
that
as it can get.
the robot who makes swords was an intelligence-based character. J303 is not as useful in a fight as my brain was telling me he was going to be.
That is fair. You just have to hope J304 made the same mistake. Alright, so 304 is going on a 2. I need to roll for Gothic, aka Lightbringer. She's going on 11.
Oh,
Also, thank goodness that 2 bruisers are coming in to fight Muscle for me.
All right. So now we will jump back before we, you get your little surprise blast on her, which just kicks off the combat. Now we will jump back outside. I think the only fighting we had going on. I mean, only relevant fighting we had going on was over with the Ray V Comet and the Unison Recluse v Sirgirax. So Unison's on a 12, so he'll go first.
Which fight are we in right now?
This is the outside one where Sirgirax is. We're Sirgirax and the Comet versus the handful of y'all that are out there. Ray,
I will
Recluse,
immediately ignore Sirgirax and immediately Mental Blast Comet twice.
Okay.
First one's a 9.
Let me find Comet sheet. Did I close Comet sheet? No, I had it open over here. Sorry. Wrong screen. Alright, so that's his willpower. The first blast does not get through. He resists.
Gonna be a while. Second blast is a 9.
Versus a 7.
Right. 2
So that
points.
one gets through. Alright, so 2 points.
And I'll have my copy from the... No, the copy from Steel is headed towards the Muscle fight, so
Okay.
I don't have any extra bodies to pull into this.
Alright, so that was you in that fight.
I can't leave it unspooled on the ground, love.
I think Sirgirax went next. And he is going... Oh, who does he want to shoot? I guess he's going to shoot Unison because Unison was the last one to get his attention.
I think he can tell which ones are copies and which ones aren't.
Oh, that's right. The real Unison is on hand, isn't he? Yep.
I'm on a motorbike, yeah.
And you're right. He does have that whole spirit awareness, cosmic awareness, multiplicity of powers going on. So, yep, he's shooting at the real you.
Most unfortunate.
Yep. So bow weaponry plus coordination. So that is a 14 to hit you. His max roll.
Ooh.
Lord have mercy.
You could always tap something, tap a quality to try to.
Martial arts is only melee based, correct?
Correct. Athletics would be help you dodge range stuff.
Yeah.
And if you have a pilot skill, I would give you your pilot skill since you're on the
I
bike.
don't have a pilot skill. I was being silly.
Yep.
That's 7.
Like I said, you could tap a quality or something.
Nah, I mean, on that roll, there's no point.
Okay. Whoo, this could be interesting.
Yep.
All right, so let me look up his damage. So it's only 6 points of damage.
1 point gets through my carapace.
But your carapace now drops by 1.
Correct.
However, that is a massive success. So we have to roll versus a stun and versus a kill.
And what stat do I roll against those?
Strength.
All right.
So you need to beat an 11 on the first roll.
I don't.
All right, so that's a major on a stun. Which, let me check and see if that's a unconscious or just. Stunning. On a major or massive, reduce target stamina to 0 and renders the character unconscious. At least I think. Let me double check and make sure that's what killing. It's specifically what those kind of attacks do.
Oh,
I'm
was
about
that
to lose 8 allies at once.
Was that the stun and not the slam?
Well, I gotta check. Is it a stun and a kill, or a slam and a kill that you have to check for edged attack or piercing? Hang on, I gotta find my damage stats here.
Oh, right. This is a bullet and not a
Yeah, well, an arrow, but yes.
Yeah.
Because he's actually shooting physical arrows this go around. I'd have to find the damage types. They could just put all the damage stuff together in one spot. But yeah, I think it's a
major success. You deal the attack's damage and may stun the target. Massive success. You deal the attack's damage and may kill the target.
Okay. So 8. Okay, and it was only a major. It was not a massive. Okay. So yeah, so the stun is all we're having to roll, not the kill. Okay.
Well, hold on. I think it was a massive success.
I was looking at the stun roll we just did.
The base attack. Yeah.
Yeah, the base
I am
attack was.
stunned. You may now roll the does it kill me roll.
That would eliminate Unison being an overpowered something, I guess. That we were slowly becoming concerned about.
Well, I mean, you did make someone who can specifically pinpoint which one is me, which eliminates the whole like mirror image quality of it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But not every villain we're going, not most villains we're going to run into could do that. These weird quasi-magical guys. All right, so yeah, so you're definitely unconscious from the stun.
Yep.
Now you may make another one of those rolls for the kill. And you need to beat an 11. Again, if you have a quality that you wanted to tap yourself +2, now would be the time.
Yeah, I just don't have any determination.
Yeah, but you can always accept trouble.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not there, am I? Is this where I'm at, or is this a different
Yes,
location?
you are in the air in this general area. Yes.
Okay, so this is something I've had from the beginning that I've never utilized until now, but I do have the leadership specialty, and I believe that lets me transfer determination. Let me confirm that.
That actually
All right.
sounds pretty reasonable.
When I'm the leader of a team, you can give your teammates additional determination, leadership. See team determination previously.
No page number, just
so
previously.
Yeah, exactly.
Somewhere in the rest of the book before this point.
That's exactly what it says. But if we do that, may I go? I would love to take advantage of that if that's
Absolutely.
I would also love to not be dead.
deemed appropriate.
So yes, you could absolutely
Yes.
slide him a determination point, assuming you have
Yeah,
one.
I'll shout some kind of. I'll just yell at him to just simply duck. I guess not exactly the most tactically brilliant move, but it'll do. And I'll happily give you a determination. Oh, I finally got to use leadership. I've been wanting to do that all season, but I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
All right then.
You finally come into your own as leader of Spear.
That's right, just in time for the finale.
All right, Tyler. So what quality are you tapping?
I will go ahead and tap. I'll go ahead and tap Paranoia Agent because I know he's gonna shoot me.
I had a plan for
Even
when
though
someone shot me with something lethal.
Yeah.
The plan is not to die. All right, so I'll give you a
Plan is
plus
to
2 in
shoot
your roll.
myself. All right. Then I'm just gonna roll and then give the plus 2 off of the roll. If that's
Okay.
all right.
That's fine. That's fine.
Roll the 9 plus 2, 11.
All right. So on a marginal success on a killing result, I think means absolutely nothing. Failure or marginal means no effect other than the attack's stamina damage. Let's see. A moderate would have reduced it to 0 and rendered you unconscious. And then a massive or major, well, that would have rendered you 0 unconscious. And then you start losing levels of strength every turn after that until you die or get first aid. So it doesn't kill you outright, but it puts you into the actual dying state.
And then being stunned. Because I'm stunned for how long?
That was a massive, let's see, 11, 8. So that's a major. And on a major or massive, that's slamming. On stunning on a major or massive, it reduces your stamina to 0 and renders the character unconscious. So that's it's just like you had lost all those points in multiple hits.
Yeah.
So you are unconscious, which I believe makes all your duplicates pop.
Yep.
So all of you that see duplicates in other places, all the duplicates go and are out of existence. This is probably very startling for the Muscle group. Ooh, but that means there's no player characters on hand for the Muscle group.
There are 2 turns left. Because we have played 3 turns of this fight and only 1 turn of the Muscle fight. But they were actively happening at the same time during last episode.
Well, I'm not sure if we had them lined up time-wise, right? Because for most of y'all's fighting, they were still making their way across the city. It's not going to matter that much. We'll roll a die in a minute and see if you get any time.
Okay.
Or not. The real you, however, slumps over the motorcycle and slides off.
Wait,
Aurora's
he's
there.
he's
Catch
flying.
So
He's
the
in the air when this happens, right?
yes, he's on the flying motorcycle that
I
he
was
took
on
from.
the flying motorcycle.
So the motorcycle
Yeah.
just comes to a stop and hovers. you know, it's advanced tech from an alien race, so it's got some safety features. And Ray, just about the time that Ray's probably just on instinct about to turn around and try to catch him, you see Aurora zip down because she'd been hovering close to him. And, like, you know, grab him by the shoulders of his coat. And then start shaking him a little bit. Hey, hey, are you awake? Hey. And then pulls him up so his helmet's right next to her ear. He's still breathing. Even though you can see the arrow sticking out of his suit.
Oh.
It doesn't look like it got that deep. And then Aurora flies him over to a rooftop. Ooh, a panicking child with super strength. Will she try to give him CPR?
Oh, God.
punches right through the chest.
Get an arrow out. We need to wiggle it back and forth really fast, right?
You have to push it the rest of the way through, right?
Does she even know where the human heart is?
Alright, so that was Sirigir X. Then I think it's Ray is next up outside. Or it's Recluse. Where's Recluse? Recluse is at an 8, so yeah. Alright, Ray,
So it's Recluse or Ray?
It is Ray's turn.
Okay.
So, you know, Recluse is standing down on the ground over his stretchy guy. Sirigirax is up on a rooftop. You know, just shot Unison. Aurora has caught Unison and set him down on a rooftop. And screamed that he's still breathing. And the comet is down, you know, in the process of picking himself up out of his little trench.
Right. Sorry, I just realized I forgot to plug in my laptop. So let me do this real quickly before
we lose you.
Yeah. Oops. All right. And there. All right. So, now we still have a comet.
Right. He is down on the ground picking himself up. He hasn't even stood up yet.
And we're at this stage. Are we at the stage where people have addressed Marcus?
Let's give a D6 roll for that.
Sure.
Let's see. On a 5 or a 6, it'll be another 2 rounds of the Marcus fight of the Muscle fight before it catches up with where y'all are. On a 5 or 6, that was on a 5 or 6. On a 3 or 4, it'll be 1 round before it catches up. And a 1 or a 2, it's actually already parallel, so you'd just be hearing this over your over your radio.
And look, it's going to be on the next page when I find out that Marcus is here.
All right, so I rolled a 5. So you've got 2 more rounds before that'll come through
2 rounds
for this group.
Told you should have called him.
Yeah. Okay. So since Aurora is at least protecting Unison for now, I need to like put the comet down before dealing with the huntsman.
Okay.
So, and he's still stumbling out of the crater. He's not.
My mistake. Because
Oh.
you go on a 10, he goes on a 12. He'd go before you. So he has climbed out and he is now standing on the ground.
Okay.
You know, he was
Not
essentially prone,
anywhere.
so it took his movement to stand up, and he has not taken an action a movement to stand up, an action to climb out of the little hole. So he has not taken flight again yet.
That's good. So, does he generate like an energy field around him when he flies?
I believe there's a visual effect around him when he's flying. Yes.
Okay, so it's not inconceivable that I'd figure out that he might be more vulnerable now.
Yeah, he doesn't have the any kind of glowing energy thing around him, no.
All right. So, I am going to. I better. You know what? Yeah, I'd like to tap 2 qualities, if I may. Air Force veteran to make sure I hit.
Okay.
And then hosting an alien energy being to increase the damage, because I'm really hoping I can one-shot this dude
All right.
before he gets invulnerable. So I'm down to 0 determination. So when I inevitably need to save Marcus's life, I'll have to take on some trouble then. But we can worry about that later.
We will
That's next
absolutely.
page's problem. So I'm going to generate the roll. Roll 1d6 plus 5 plus. Does aerial combat? No, that's strictly a
Yeah, that's a
defensive
defensive.
thing.
That's a defensive.
I forgot to add. Last time I did forget to add my power light control specialty, and then I'm going to add 2 more because I activated Air Force veteran.
Okay.
And let's see what the hit total is. Another 11.
All right. So
And the
total...
second quality. Oh, sorry.
Second quality to go to damage, I believe was what you were saying.
That's right.
All right. So Comet needs to dodge. Ooh, K came remarkably close, given his low coordination. So you beat him by 2, so it's no slams or stuns necessarily, but a solid full damage lick. And how much damage are you doing?
Which in this case it's 9 points.
All right.
Thanks to my activation.
So picture this like an anime. He's standing there. He looks up at you, getting ready to take flight. You hype up this extra powerful blast, so it's just his face. It's like his face is just getting brighter and brighter as this beam is about to come at you, and you're pretty sure you see him mouth. Ah, crap! About the time the blast just lays into him, and when the light fades, he's laying there, just completely out.
Nice. Now it's time to get killed by the huntsman.
Indeed.
And scene.
All right. Is there anybody? Oh, Recluse is over in this area. Recluse, you're up.
All right. Recluse is going to scuttle up and around the side of the building that Sarah Garrix is on to try and get around behind him, and then just lay into him full strength.
Okay. So yeah, leaping up there is no problem, or scurrying, or however you want to do it.
Yeah. And boop.
Ooh, minimum roll. Of course, your minimum roll is a 10, but you're still pretty good. And this is his prowess and not his coordination. He is not an expert at the fisticuffs. Not at all. 6. So that is a massive success. So how much damage do you do?
I do 8 points of damage. And I was using multi-attack to give myself extra +1 to damage.
Okay. So that means you did 9 total then. Correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Minus his damage resistance though, so. All right, that hurt him pretty good. Now give me a strength roll to see if you slam him. His strength is a little better just because his entire race is strong. So he got an 8. All right, so you knocked him back an area. And then roll it again, your strength again for a... Oh, wait. Did you get a... Yeah. Yes, for a stun. He is not stunned. Hoorah.
Did you say not stunned?
Yeah, he is not stunned.
Okay.
However, you mentioned specifically that you got it behind him, so the slam takes him over the edge of the building. And let's see. Multiple story building. He's got a little damage resistance. But given that he's only got 2 stamina left, I'm going to say he hits the ground and that knocks him the rest of the way out. Because if we went like a point of damage a story, 5 stories up, minus his 3, yeah, he's out.
Nice.
Yay.
But Recluse, you get the fun of seeing the look on his face as you knock him off the building. And it's not the panic look like he thinks, oh, I'm going to die. But it's still that it's a split second of Alec Rickman in Die Hard before it's just this disgruntled, oh, I can't believe this is going to, as he hits the ground. His bow he let go of his bow as he flew across the edge, so it clatters to the ground next to him. Which I believe means y'all got this side clear.
What'd you say?
As I believe you got this little combat area clear.
You went robot.
Ruh-roh. All right, am I back?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You went robot earlier whenever I was asking for clarification.
Okay. That might have been a Discord dip or something then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've cleared this little combat area, though you do have Unison laid out where he's at. So that was 1 round. And we jump back over to the Muscle fight, which is, 30 seconds to a minute earlier. So the Unison there is still active. Let me roll an actual dice or something. Okay. All right, so Land Shark has not arrived. Land Shark and the Platypus have not arrived yet. Nobody on the Independence Ray side has started head that direction yet. There was at least one other Unison that I think had started heading that direction. Not that it's going to matter. He'll pop before he gets there. But all right, so the Unison that hasn't popped yet, what are you doing over in the Muscle fight?
I will go ahead and continue to mentally blast Lightbringer.
All right. Take another shot at Lightbringer.
Ugh, on an 8, she probably makes that.
It depends on how she rolls. She definitely has the possibility of making that. Her willpower is decent. But her roll was not.
2 points.
So you beat her by 1, so that's another 2 points from her.
And I will look to the Mystics and go, hey, I'm going to need somebody to help handle this. I'm one dude right now. In a rare moment of math, I'm one guy.
I'm rarely one dude, but in this moment I am one dude.
Unison feels so alone right now.
Like, I can take one punch from one of them, and I will die.
Alright, speaking of one punch from one of them, it is Lightbringer / Gothic's turn. She is, not happy with you, Unison. She springs across the battlefield, glowing, energy field that she always has around her. Oh, usually has around her. Though usually it's shade and not light, but whatever. She pops her little light sword and is going to try to run you through. Like one does.
Well,
so she will
let's
roll
see those numbers, kiddo.
Soul Stealer, though she doesn't really call it that since it's not Shadow currently. Beat a 13.
I got a 13.
You tied at 13. So half damage, which is only 3 points.
Thank you, Carapace.
So your carapace drops by 1.
That unison now has a carapace of 4.
Oh, did I include her weapons blade? Yes, I did. Oh, that's right. That roll I'd already. That was a put together roll on the sheet. So yeah. When will she ever get to use her 2 ranks in the business skill? Oh wait, no, that's Jay. I'm looking at the wrong person.
Maybe the
Sorry.
next. Okay, and the answer would be maybe the next arcane or corporate adventures.
Wait. Did you? No, you didn't roll that on Jay.
No, I rolled on her sheet.
Okay.
But then at some point I looked over at another screen and there was a character sheet up, and I saw a weapons blade, and I was like, oh, well, she should have that.
Because I was looking at it and I went 7 + 1. That is in fact what it. The numbers worked out. Oh no.
Yeah, that was me just being confused. I've got character sheets on multiple screens on either side of me. All right. So yeah, she's right up there in your face, just stabbing at you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
You probably need to talk to a therapist about that. I'm one guy.
You're 5 guys. I'm surprised you don't make burgers.
It's because I'm 6. People, not age.
Overpriced burgers.
Oh yeah, I miscounted, sir.
It's cool. I know your eyes are only for the big guy.
Alright, let's see who else is in here. Huntsman's out, Dragon Guy's out, the Winter Guy's out, Ahern is out. Platypus is still up. Comet's out. I've eliminated a lot of people. So just to keep things simple, the J303s end up running across and engaging the 304s end up running across and engaging the 303s. So it's a lot of robots with like built-in bladed weaponry going at each other. Not sure why they didn't build themselves with blasters, but
Well, to be fair, J303 has a very good reason he doesn't use ranged weapons.
oh yes, I think I see that. Yeah, I see that one coordination. Yeah.
He was built to be a robot that stays in place and touches things. Some of that is still in him.
Yes.
All right, let me bring up Muscle's stats right quick.
Oof, can we not? Please?
Muscle ate a really bad tuna sandwich earlier and has to leave the fight.
Oh, guard.
All right. Let's see. You seem to be engaging, or Unison seems to be engaged by Lightbringer, so Muscle wouldn't see him as the prominent threat.
Is Geist still doing stuff?
I think wasn't he knocked out by that?
I believe he was knocked out by Zone Blast.
In one shot? My goodness, learn how to stand up for yourself.
Well, he flubbed the roll and the stun and all that, so you know.
Embarrassment.
Look, he's a rookie. There's a reason he's still in school. It's totally not so I can just write him out for plot reasons. Because, you know, he's a duplicator, and I've realized early on that's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't until we were about to start playing that session that I realized, wait a second, there's potentially 3 duplicators in this fight. Oh, my goodness. All right, so a fight and roll for Muscle. And then a fight. You see him charge the Crucible. Or at least he charges over towards the Mystics, and the Crucible puts himself between Muscle and the other Mystics. I mean, he is at least wearing big armor, which is more than the rest of the Mystics have going for him. Alright, so Muscle lands the hit. That is a 7 strength.
The Crucible's got to have some damage reduction.
Oh yeah, the armor gives him some damage reduction. The armor gives him some damage reduction. I just have to look up how much it is. Well, if I can find him, I know I've got him statted up. Okay, here we go. So it is 7 points. All right, so the Crucible takes some. He definitely takes it out. You definitely hear a as he takes the hit. And then Muscle's strength is a 7. The Crucible strength is less than that. All right, so he's stunned for a round. Or no, that's a slam. He goes flying back. Over the head of the rest of the Mystics and, onto the ground, and then roll for the stun. Ooh, it does seem to have knocked him out, though.
Yeah, that's the typical thing.
Or at least you don't see him immediately trying to get up. You just hear the faint from inside the armor.
That Crucible that got knocked out?
Yep.
Yep.
Ouch.
As a Mystic goes, he's not bad in hand-to-hand combat, but he ain't Muscle good.
There ain't many that are Muscle good. Man's got a straight up plus 12 to defending himself from a human trying to punch him.
Yep. All right. Foresight comes up next to Unison and helps start engaging with Lightbringer. He does, however, miss. But she is now facing 2 of you. Let's see, the Jays are fighting the Jays. Other than the 2 Jays that are standing back guarding the bargaining chips. Santa Luna's grandmother, she seems to be very excited watching now. Ooh. Every time somebody takes a lick, it's like, ooh. She looks over at Marcus. I don't even know who to be pulling for. And Marcus is still.
Oh, is it?
Marcus
Group
just,
2?
Do what now?
Isn't Starbound present in that group too?
I believe he is.
Oh, yeah! I should have snapped a picture. I've got my whiteboard in the other room with all the characters.
Yes.
It's a lot to
Conspiracy.
manage.
Because I've got them. I've got people that were going to be there to oppose them and lines drawn.
Oh, we have also. I think you may have forgotten Modison and Molly.
Were they on
They're
that
team
team, or were
defense.
they roaming around the city doing stuff?
I think they were on
You know,
Chaos. Dude.
Okay, I have them down with defense, but maybe we changed that at the last minute. And
Well, if you've got it written down as defense, then that's probably what
Makes
they were
sense.
supposed to be on. The
I
month
know
and a half
we
just
had
threw me off.
I thought we had a big team protecting the Mystics because that's the key to the plan.
yeah,
You're probably right. You're probably right.
sorry, I should have written up the summary. Especially
I
given,
should
how
have.
long
I
the
should
day
have
was.
gone over my notes closer. All right, but that was all right. So that that's right, because Dr. Payne was in here. Yeah, because Dr. Payne. Oh, Dr. Brain is supposed to be with you. Golly, I've messed this up.
Oh yeah. Oh, and Omniglot.
I thought
Or
Omniglot was
Omniglot
with.
Team Chaos? Yeah.
I think
she
she's
was
out. I think she's out there with y'all, but y'all have knocked everybody out that she was close to. So
Okay.
she's probably trying to. She's probably trying to get over to the building. Unison's unconscious form or something. But okay, so Starbound and Dr. Payne engage each other. I can only imagine what the dialogue there would be. And Molly and John Modison move up to engage Muscle to keep him off the rest of the Mystics, while the rest of the Mystics fall back to check on Crucible. And since that's all a whole bunch of non-player characters that would be rolling against each other, we're just going to cinematic it, and they're fighting.
This little shoebox with a bunch of toys in it and just starts shaking. Whoever's face up wins.
Well, or think of it, there's a big fight in a single character's book, and you see some of the other characters in the background every now and then.
Yeah.
Like one of the Infinity War or Infinity Crusade books where when you read the character's individual story or individual book, it's telling you what he's doing in this fight. And then you might see him in the background of somebody else's book, because it's the same fight.
I was kind of picturing George Perez art where they pick, where he throws in as many characters as he possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you can still tell who
Yes.
everybody is because the man was a wizard.
Yep.
Yeah, he was one of those rare talents.
Yep. Rest in peace.
Or his Heroes Return run on Avengers, where he had everybody's height scales compared to each other. So Thor was reliably looked like he was 3 or 4 inches taller than Cap at all times. He knew how tall the character was supposed to be, so they always matched up if they were standing next to each other. More thought than some people puts into it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So all that fighting's going on. The grandmother's all excited to be watching it. To the point that she's not really paying attention, so the rope slips out of her hands. You realize she's not really got her hands tied together. She just looped the rope around there and was holding it. But she doesn't seem to be taking any active. She doesn't seem to be taking any active actions against anybody. And Marcus is literally just looking there. He's still got this look on his face like, why am I here?
Poor Marcus.
Nobody's attacking him. Nobody's hurting him. There's fighting going on in front of him.
What as a nurse, specifically, I think he was an ER nurse. or a ambulance nurse.
Yes, that was what he was originally doing. Yes.
Yeah, you may just. I'd be curious to see if he ends up trying to like treat Crucible or anyone else. But he might just. Again, he's probably just overwhelmed. But that's just something that occurred to me.
Yeah. At this moment, he's just overwhelmed.
Sure.
You know, not like it's a panic, like he's about to run away or something. It's just like, he's still trying to figure out why he's involved in this.
Yeah, this is probably his first super fight that he remembers.
Yeah, that he remembers. You know, I'm a nurse, and then the ruler of the world sends somebody to pick me up and bring me here. For why?
Oh, that's right, because he doesn't remember.
No, it's just, this ruler of the world that everybody loves is like, hey, I need you to come over here to Egypt for a little bit. Okay, sure, but
Yeah,
He probably thinks he's going to become the world nurse.
I mean, he's probably just like, but I have to leave my boyfriend at home?
What?
He's a charismatic man. He's a charismatic man in a world where you don't exist. You think he's going to be single?
What, Ray? You don't think you can be replaced? Please.
I know I can be replaced. I've got an alien being inside me that likes to hijack my body from time to time.
Oh, hey, we got a bot in the chat. Bye-bye, bot. Ooh, the bot has been the account has been in existence since yesterday.
Ooh, wow.
Man, I might have been the first person to ban him. Doubtful though, if he's been at it an entire day. All right, so that fight's going on. So that is one round.
Lion Shark and Platypus.
They are on their way. They will make it at the end of the next round. So the next round, Unison, what are you doing? This is the last round. This is Unison gets to act before he pops.
Okay, with that stun, he dropped to the 0 HP kind of stun on a Crucible?
Where was that at? Alright, JM uses fighting. That would have been his punch. And then, Musco's got a...
It was the 13 to 8 stun.
Alright, the 13... Okay, the 13 to 8 was the stun. Yeah. That was a massive success. So, yeah.
So, if I ran over and healed Crucible, would Crucible be back up?
Absolutely.
Unison will look at Foresight. I'm sorry, I have to go wake up our big magic guy.
Yeah, better do it while you can.
What? And I'll heal Crucible. What do you mean?
Pop!
Yep.
It's like, what do you mean? And then the real you takes the arrow, and you just have that split second of, oh, that's what he meant.
But Crucible's back up with 7 HP, or 6 HP.
All right.
If he's got 6 to get to use.
Oh yeah, definitely. Might even be a little higher than that because of his willpower. Oh no, it can only go 6 or his, yeah. I'm getting that second wind confused for a second there. Alright, so this round, Crucible will spend his movement to stand up. He will use his second wind, so he's back at full. Usually over here only popped. So that's the only player characters there. So at this point, Landshark and Platypus, basically at the end of the round, you arrive. You arrive seconds after Unison is popped, so you just don't see a Unison on the board. You see 2 sets of robots fighting each other. Some of them definitely the ones that you brought with you. Some of them look like knockoffs of the ones you brought with you.
Gotcha.
Like, very similar designs, but clearly not the same. You see the Crucible basically standing up and kind of like, you can tell somebody knocked him on his butt, but he's back up. The Mystics are clustered around him. Molly and John Modi's son are fighting this big oiled up guy in a loincloth. And what looks like a domino mask at first, but if you get close to it, you'll realize that it's basically like face paint or that, blackout stuff athletes put around their eyes. You see Lightbringer engaging with Foresight. He is very much on the defensive. Let's see, Dr. Brain and I guess Starbound would be dealing with Dr. Payne. Looks like they've about got him handled. So this is now caught up. We'll cut to the Siragirex guys. The fight's over, but oh, did anybody radio that about the hostages?
If we have open comms, we would have at least heard Crucible mentioning Marcus's name.
All right. So y'all are aware of what's going on. Somebody mentions it. Nobody else does, and Foresight does. So Ray is now aware that Marcus is in the big fight.
Landshark would certainly say something over the comms so that Ray would know.
It's true.
Sure.
You would walk in and see Marcus, and Landshark knows Marcus.
Recluse just gonna tell Ray to go now, hard and fast. And
which he does well.
And then he's going to scoop up Omniglot if he sees her and scurry up to where Unit is.
All right. She runs up and starts taking off his helmet. Everybody look away. I'm not sure who he's showing his actual face to and who he hasn't. Aurora just puts a hand over her eyes, but you can see the fingers are split slightly. Unison, would you like to burn your second wind?
Wait, does second wind not take a determination?
Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it? I had forgotten about that. You would have to have a point.
Yeah, I'm out until we have a healer.
Or you could take some trouble. Would you like to take some trouble?
I guess if it gets us back in, sure, I'll take some trouble.
All right. So you take some trouble. You can tap a quality, second wind.
How much health does second wind give?
Either your strength or your willpower, whichever's higher.
Willpower it is.
All right. How many licks had your carapace taken?
Just the one.
Just
Because
the
it was
one?
just a hit that hit me and knocked me out flat.
All right. For your trouble, I'm going to reduce your carapace by another level.
Okay.
Mental strain, whatever we want to call it. So you're up, but you're a little weaker than normal.
I put my helmet back on. Why does everyone like to take my helmet off when I'm unconscious?
You hear Aurora, probably because you won't let him when you're awake. And she says that with the earnesty of a child who thinks she knows the explanation.
He's just afraid of letting everyone know how handsome he is.
And then Aurora's like, "Who's Marcus, and why did Ray have to leave so fast because of him?"
His fiance. They've been separated for since he went off into space with us.
Oh, well, it's okay. He probably doesn't remember anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
Should
So,
I go follow him?
Yeah, let's go. Unit, you okay?
Yeah, hold on a second, and I'll crack 7 copies out of myself real quick. Ugh. All right. Glad I can do that all at once. Let's go, boys.
So you got some of the white suits there. Then if you pop 7, don't you?
Yeah, I mean they're all just in gray because I select the color,
Okay.
and this has got me worried enough that I'm like, everyone needs to share the same color as me just to give me that extra chance of not getting shot.
All right. So I assume you have somebody get you back to your bike because it's still floating up there wherever you were.
I'll fly to it.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you can fly.
I can fly. The bike was just purely a thing.
I forgot the whole Aurora had to catch you because you were unconscious for it. All right. So y'all are all streaking towards the main area.
And one of my copies will go ahead and tap me for 4 points of healing, so I can be at full.
Fair enough.
Recluse would also appreciate a little bit of healing.
6 points of healing.
Yay, I'm back to max.
I haven't healed anyone else. I can only heal you up to a certain amount past the power level before I start having to make checks for it. So just don't get too much more beat up.
And Unison, what is your flight speed?
5. What's
Ray,
bike speed?
what is your flight speed? Or your
8.
rank? All right.
Yes, it's one of the extras from my light control.
Yep. What's your swinging, Recluse?
7.
Okay. And then let me look up how fast Aurora is. Right. Okay, she's not quite as... She got a 7. She's not quite as fast as Ray. Though she does have the whole teleportation gateway things. When she really needs to go long distance. I will say the bikes are basically as fast as Unison is anyway. Alright, so cutting back to the fight with Muscle. Let's see, Muscle's going in 11. Landshark is on a 10. He is going to disengage from John and Molly, who have been keeping him busy but not really doing any damage to him. They have been working in unison and really using teamwork to kind of keep him from really focusing on one of them. But Landshark, you were literally the guy they put him here. You were literally the one they went. When you see this guy, you go after him. He's their big strong guy. And if he, and basically, since they had Lightbringer filling him in on the hero she was familiar with, and everybody knows about Landshark's little problem, he needs to be knocked out quick before he starts leveling the city on accident. So we have Landshark v.
It's a little problem.
So first action of the round is Muscle versus Landshark.
Bum, bum, bum.
The fight we've been waiting all season for.
Summon popcorn.
We'll get some apples later. Okay.
Alright, so he's taking a swing at you, Landshark. Give me a Prowess roll. If you've got martial arts, it would factor in.
Hold on. Did I get my cursor on the right?
Oh, and it's 11 versus 11. So half damage. So his 7 becomes a 4. I suspect that does not affect Landshark in any way.
You know, no, not really. You'll have to roll with the punch.
All right. Landshark.
So Muscle's fairly famous. Do I?
Give me an intelligence roll, or intelligence or awareness.
I mean, you know of him because Unison talked about him, but also if
That's true. Unison brought him up, so you know the names. So just give me an intelligence roll to see what you recall. It's not a real high difficulty.
It's not a real high intelligence.
All right, so you needed a 6. You got an 8 now. You remember just you remember Unison mentioning him, and you know he's a strong guy and pretty good at fight. He's a strong fighter who's pretty good.
I don't know his weakness.
No.
Of course, I've got to say, hi, Mescal. I'm Bruce. I'm a shark.
Oh, hey, Bruce. Pleased to meet you. I'm Muscle. Oh, wait, you already said that. I'm not going to try doing the accent.
It's not a difficult accent.
No, it's probably not.
I'm sure you've got it somewhere deep in the heart of your soul.
I can't maintain accents consistently. I tried with the reliquary because Southern Gentleman's a little bit easier for me because I'm already close to it.
Yeah, something.
Do I get to go next, or is it somebody else's turn?
No, it's Landshark's turn. Go Landshark.
Okay.
Go.
First, I have to ask about Jay. You mentioned
Yes.
put on some weight. I'm assuming that it's because he's a snack monster and not like pregnant or something because of magic.
So look at it. Well, you see Jay and Marcus standing across there. Clearly, they've not been hurt. Jay looks like he's having a delightful time. He's wearing what you know is one of his grandmother's dresses.
Right.
So you really can't tell if he's gained weight or the dress is baggy enough. It's not baggy,
Gotcha.
but it's enough. You really can't tell if he's starting to get a little tummy or not. Definitely doesn't look pregnant or anything. No.
I am obviously going to do a very ineffective attack, but I'm going to punch Muscle.
All right, Landshark uses Kapow. Muscle uses fighting. He beats you by 1, so he manages to avoid the blow completely, but does not beat you by enough to reverse it on you or anything.
Did you make sure to add in the +2 of premonition against human opponents?
Oh, no, I did not. He does have that danger sense, doesn't he? So 12, that becomes a 14. So that is a major.
But I'm a shark.
Well, when you put it that way, Landshark is a shark.
Let's see. This is evading. Okay. No, it's got to be a massive to get that free reversal. So this is only a major, so you don't get popped in retaliation.
Not yet.
So at this point, oh yeah, the platypus would do his thing. So the platypus tries to kick Muscle. So that's... Oh, wait, no, he still gets that +2, though. Because the platypus is still a person. At least the way he explains his origin most of the time. It is a little different every time he explains it. He's yet to claim to be a platypus that turned into a person, so... So that becomes a 12. So Muscle gets out of the way of the venomous kick. The Mystic... Molly and John Modison start moving towards the hostages. As they're walking over, you see Santa Luna's grandmother. She kind of reaches over, she completely drops the rope that she was holding. She kind of takes Marcus by the arm. Mr. Marcus, step over here. There. She gestures to the robots behind him and the approaching supers. They're going to have a little tussle. Let us get out of their way. And the J304 is like, they go ahead and focus on the oncoming supers. It looks like Starbound and Dr. Brain are just about taking Dr. Payne out. It's 2-on-1, and, they're doing a lot of mental stuff. He's doing physical stuff, so... Foresight and Lightbringer are still sparring. Though, Foresight seems to have gone completely on the defensive. I mean, he is unarmed fighting somebody with a sword, so... It's all, either dodging way out of the way or getting up really close to her where he can, block her arm rather than the blade itself. They're both obviously skilled fighters, but Foresight is considerably older than Lightbringer. He runs the Mutant Underground, but he's been more or less retired from heroing for a few years now. He's multidimensional man era old. And at that point, Ray, is when you arrive. So you arrive at the end of the round, but you are now on hand.
Okay.
You see Santa Luna, kind of pulling Marcus away from what's about to be a fight between John, his cousin, and two robots. You catch something about her wishing she had popcorn? So next round, we will start up with Muscle. He is taking a swing at another. He's got you and the platypus. But you're the guy that can level city, so he's got to take you out. How is Landshark's emotional state currently?
Very excitable.
You see Jay, but you can also see that he's clearly unharmed, not currently being threatened. So I don't know how upsetting that would be.
He's obviously been waiting to meet, to reunite with Jay the whole time they've been gone. So.
Yeah, so there's no rumblings yet. Things are going, from your point of view, things are going pretty well. Muscle comes up for another swing with a 14.
Is that on me?
Yes, that was on Landshark. Sorry.
I just wasn't expecting combat to be going this fast.
Well, a lot of the NPCs, we're just cinematicing them. It's you guys that really matter.
He got me.
All right, yeah, he got you. So that's 7 points of damage.
That does get through my shark eye invulnerability just a little bit.
Well, that's why it's nigh invulnerability, not invulnerability. It's close, but it's not actual invulnerability. All right, and then next up is
He'll maybe spit some blood out of his mouth. Say, "I can do this all day, Muscle."
Yeah. You sure about that?
He cannot. If he doesn't figure out Muscle's weakness, Muscle's gonna trounce him probably.
Muscle's like, I've been trying to come up with a rating system. A way to rank us. Rank us, folks. It seems like something I've done before, but I can't remember. All right, next up is Ray.
All right. So we've got hostages on the scene, particularly notable ones. And Ray's go-to move whenever they're hostages are always to tend to them first. So I'm going to I'd like to try to grab both Luna and because Ray probably does not know about the whole Luna grandmother thing.
I think
is that right?
I think Landshark explained it.
Landshark
Landshark and Ray are friends, and they're also
That's
friends
true.
with Jenny, so I would not be surprised if that had come up. I mean,
and also we had I think some form of evidence to know that Santa Luna's grandmother was just walking around with the Feyre at some point.
Yeah. And Landshark talked about it before the assault too. He mentioned it.
That's right. And he's got the pumps on.
Right now, he's got the pumps on and one of the grandmother's dresses.
Yeah, and a senorita dress.
Well, okay, so now I'm worried that, and we do have reason to believe that the grandmother may be complicit with Alsat. So I'm going to see if I can just grab Marcus and just zoom him out of there. And so we'll see if Grandma does anything about that.
Meatballs. Meatballs.
Somebody's excited.
Meatballs.
I'm watching Gabby's Dollhouse.
Also, I hate to bring this up, Jason, but based on timing, do we have any hard outs?
I have already notified my evening group that this is the finale arc finale, so they're fine if I need extra time. I'll just let them know, but that's no sweat.
Well, the only problem is, hopefully we can resolve this fight, but there's still the actual confrontation with the Feyre.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's going to go another session.
Our three-part
ultimate episode.
It's like a Hunger Games movie.
I'm glad I never labeled any of these episodes the penultimate episode because they'd been out of date. But hopefully we can, in just a few more minutes, hopefully we can wrap up this section to some degree. At the very least, though, we're going to get right through this round. So Ray swoops down and grabs Marcus.
Yes. Probably has no idea who I am.
Which means you'll need to roll against him.
Yep.
As you're trying to basically wrestle him.
Yep. So that's just straight up prowess, I believe, since I don't have wrestling.
Let's see. Marcus is not a thug. I'd say he's probably a little more active than a bystander, though.
I mean, he's someone who's, well, again, I was about to say, he's been at least one hostage situation. So at least in the time that he remembered that, he would take care of himself
Yeah.
because of that.
Well, I'm just thinking about what his raw stats would be because I've never statted Marcus up, but
maybe a 4 if you want to be generous.
This would be.
I'm just laughing because Yerbo freaks out being in a hostage situation.
I'm going to say 3
Although
for prowess.
Mine's complicit. Mine wants popcorn.
Right.
I'm going to give him a 3 on prowess because fighting is really not what he's been trained for.
Okay. That's true.
4
You could
strikes
have
me as a
one
little
point
more.
martial art, but
A little more. You probably had full-on training.
yeah. Oh, okay.
All right, so you got him in a partial hold, which is enough to be carried him off. You just hear kind of
And I did. Yeah, I know he was actively resisting, and
Yeah. He's like, you're that rebel leader.
Yeah. I mean, not wrong.
So where are you carrying him?
Outside, definitely outside. Maybe just out the same way I came in. And then after that, I don't know, whatever looks like the safest place in the city from a skyward vantage point.
All right, so you're heading outside. He's screaming to put him down, this, that, and the other. Give me an awareness roll.
Okay. No,
All right, you need to beat a 7.
I did not. I tied a 7.
Okay, that's good enough. I'll give you a tie.
I know.
So yeah, he's screaming, kind of moving around. Just kind of out of the corner of your eye, you see him slip a stun gun out of his pocket and spark it up, and he's going to try to stun you, but he's not catching you by surprise. So give me a prowess roll.
That's my baby.
Look, he don't know why he's here. He's just been given his instructions.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know why this Independence Ray guy was going to try to kidnap him, but he's supposed to stun you when you do. So 8. So 9, 10, 11. So yeah, that's a major. So not enough that you could reverse it on him and taser him instead. But I'll give you that it's enough that you knock it out of his hand so it goes clattering to the ground.
Oh, okay.
And he does this before you got too high, basically just as you were getting outside the building. I mean, he's not suicidal. He looks disappointed. She said I'd be able to catch you by surprise, that you'd be distracted. Why did she call me in to deal with you? And he's looking at you, he's just baffled. He just looks baffled as to what's going on.
You don't remember, do you? I think that's all he may bring himself to say at this point.
But he just looks, and you say that, and Marcus just gets this look of confusion on his face. Clearly, you are right, and he does not remember.
Yeah.
All right, so we will. Let's see. The internal fighting goes on. Oh, I will give Platypus another. Oh wait, no. Ray went. Now it's Landshark's turn. Landshark does get his turn. We're going to finish this turn and then we'll go ahead and call it.
Okay. So I'm assuming, obviously, Landshark does not know about Muscle's weakness. But he would know, I'm assuming, about the book. And just a little bit about his history.
You know, I could see Muscle's. What's the name of Muscle's book, Unison or Taylor? Muscle's Manual for Manhandling Heroes or something like that.
Yep.
So yeah, that strikes me. That strikes me as something that Bruce might have read. So yeah.
Assuming he reads. Is the fact that Muscle's kind of sort of a family man, is that common knowledge, Taylor?
I think the only thing that's known publicly is that Muscle probably had a girlfriend.
He made comments in the Crimes and Misadventures season, but Landshark was in space when those came down, so Landshark wouldn't be aware of it.
Okay. Landshark will say, you know what, Muscle? I listened to your audiobook. He's like, you know what the one difference is between us? I'm going to say this as I punch him.
Okay.
You're reasonable and I'm not. He's like, you don't remember what Madame Pharaoh has done, and you don't remember your life before this or the people that you loved. I'll roll my punch. Which will be a miss.
Alright, his fighting. Plus his 2 for his danger sense, so.
Oh, he might get us.
So that's a 13.
He almost gets a look on me, or does he?
9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Nope, that beats it. He beats you by 4, so that is indeed a massive. So take another 7-point punch to the face as he dodges that lick and what did you call her Lady Pharaoh or did you just call her Pharaoh?
Madame Pharaoh.
Okay. He's like, oh, Madame Pharaoh. I kind of like that. I mean, you don't need it. Pharaoh is not a gender-specific name. You don't have to change it because it's a lady.
It's his limited understanding of foreign languages.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I had to look it up myself. I didn't know it ahead of time. So the Chinese word for emperor is the same way. Oh no! It is.
But it made sense. He knows some Spanish, so of course he's going to do that with.
Yeah. That's kind of where we got calling her that. You know, I forget which one of y'all actually coined the phrase. But all right, so that's Landshark. And there's no other player characters on hand. So this round ends. The rest of you show up. So y'all show up just as you see Ray flying out with somebody. You know, you're running into the building as you see this little exchange between Muscle and Landshark. And we will wrap here. And in 2 weeks, assuming nothing comes up that interrupts our playing, we will finish this season.
For reals.
For real this time. This time we mean it. But I hope y'all had fun. I enjoyed it. I will try to go through my notes and my whiteboard and make sure I've got stuff sorted out a little better for the next time.
Some of it's, can be cleared off.
Yes, this is very true. So I hope anybody that comes by and watched or listens to us later, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll join us again in 2 weeks. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully we'll be doing this back to the regular schedule by then. Now, again, I was your GM for the day, Jason, and with me has been Zach playing Recluse,
Thank you all so much for joining us.
Mike playing Independence Ray,
Good day, everyone.
Taylor playing Unison,
See you.
and Curtis as Landshark.
Laters.
And we will see y'all next time.